So what does this herb exactly do? When we start looking at inflammation, the Time cover story calls inflammation the secret killer. All of us have some level of silent inflammation. Inflammation precedes repair, but there is a level where the inflammation becomes destructive. Andrew Weil, pretty well known in the States, he says abnormal inflammation extends beyond where it should, and then it causes more problem. So they have a term in the literature called inflammaging. We know that one of the primary factors that age our cells, age our bodies, age our brains and everything in it is the inflammatory process. So it has implications for the brain, the immune system, the body, skin, sexual function, bone, and heart disease, all related to chronic inflammation. So there's this molecule, it's called nitric oxide, and that's what NO means. And whoever knew that there was something called Molecule of the Year? And nitric oxide won that award in 1992. Heart surgeons or doctors knew for over 100 years that if you gave someone that was having chest pain nitroglycerin, if they put it in their mouth, under their tongue, their chest pain would resolve. They knew that there was something in it that would dilate blood vessels. So they had a whole team of researchers get together and try to find this amazing molecule. Once they found it, they thought, wow, we've got an amazing drug for cardiovascular health. There's an enzyme that breaks down nitric oxide. It's called phosphodiesterase 5. So the drug companies created a molecule that interfered with phosphodiesterase 5. It's called sildenafil. So they started giving this drug to these gentlemen that had cardiovascular disease, and after a few weeks, they went back to the doctors and said, okay, something really weird is going on. They said, really, what's happening? They said, well, we're starting to get erections again. Well, if you don't have good circulatory system, good cardiovascular function, you don't have good sexual function either. So they basically scrapped the idea of using it as a blood pressure drug, and that was the birth of Viagra, which was an overnight blockbuster. One of the primary researchers on nitric oxide was a gentleman by the name of Nathan Bryan. After they discovered nitric oxide, the drug companies wanted to come up with, of course, another nitric oxide drug because they know that this molecule is so powerful. So they started looking at traditional Chinese medicines that had cardiovascular benefit, including Ganoderma. When they found that Ganoderma worked really well, what he said was the next step was to identify the active components in the traditional Chinese medicines responsible for producing nitric oxide. Nathan Bryan said this, he says, every time we took something out of the herb, it didn't work as well. So it wasn't something in the herb, it was the herb. So Ganoderma was the herb that increased nitric oxide. There's a synergy in nature that cannot be duplicated and cannot be isolated. Nature provides. It's got all the things that we need if we learn to use it wisely.